Do mammograms actually do more harm than good? The British Medical Journal just came out with an article talking about how 100,000 women underwent tests, and it showed that there's more harm than good done by all these mammograms. Now, we have been talking about this for years.
Long time.
Glad to see that it's finally out in the news. But, you know, people, I think, have been so brainwashed that it's very difficult to get your mind thinking a different way.
Right. As soon as you raise this question, the first thing that happens is a lot of women come out and they start saying, you're taking our rights away. And the American Cancer Society comes by and says, yeah, that's right. And Big Pharma, of course, is behind a lot of this because that's where the real money is, along with the mammography industry. So we have a real issue here of finding out what's true, I think, because this has been what I have believed for a long time, probably a couple of decades.
It's very upsetting for women to be misdiagnosed, and to some of these women are being treated when they really don't even need to be treated, and they're actually very healthy.
Look at it this way, Vicki. One person in 2,000 who has a mammogram, one person in 2,000 is going to have their life extended. 10 people are going to suffer from an unnecessary treatment for cancer that they never really had because of that. There have been a lot of studies shown that some of the cancers that we have are called cancers, but they really aren't. The ductal carcinoma in situ, the so-called DCISs.
Well, 2% of the women that have that do die.
The other 98% get treated, and they wouldn't have died. And so you're looking at radiation, chemo, and surgery being recommended for those people. Then we have the people who have cancer, where it's going to go away spontaneously. When you look at autopsies at women at age 50 and look for cancers, about 30% of them have a cancer. But not 30% of those women are going to die, which tells you that a lot of these women are just getting over it.
And many women are dying with it rather than from it.
Exactly. It's the same as prostate cancer. At age 50, 50% of men have a Gleason 6 prostate cancer. At age 80, 80%. So these are issues that really need to be looked at very carefully. When they looked at quality of life, which is they did, quality of life years, that's where the real weight came in. When they found that the people who were being treated for cancers very often had quality of life that wasn't so good. But those women who didn't really have a cancer that needed to be treated, they went through the same process because they wound up getting the treatment. So we know that that's a huge issue.
So what they're doing in Britain is that they're doing mammograms on women, what, from 43 to 73? 47 to 73, every 3 years.
Yeah, and I think that as a screening test, this is not a smart thing to do. As a test that will help you with additional information, if you have a reason to be looking, it's a good test.
Well, if you have a problem, but maybe just not to do it routinely.
Well, that's what this whole thing about screening is about. Who do you screen? If you just take young, healthy women under the age of 50, we know from the data across the world that that doesn't really serve us much good. In fact, that causes more harm than good, in my opinion.
And the radiation from the mammograms can actually cause cancer.
Exactly. So we've got something here that we need to deal with in a way that's a little bit different. I'm afraid that's what is happening is that the people with the power that have the vested interest, like the American Cancer Society, the pharmaceutical industry, the mammography industry, they all like it the way it is. They don't want to see any changes.
They're making money off of it.
Well, that's right. And so what we have is a test that's generating a lot of business. A mammogram, an ultrasound, an MRI, a CT scan sometimes, and breast thermography should all be used in some settings. And some of those tests should be used far more often than they are, and others less.
And we're not saying to just totally throw it out. You know, once in a while there's a reason to do it, but we're talking about mostly routinely. And if you're interested in this topic, we have many more videos on drsaputo.com. So
on this topic,
just do a search on it.
Yeah, try putting mammotherms in the search and you'll learn a lot about what the real test is that should be used
for breast thermography
for women under the age of 50. So when we start looking at mammograms to be used on everybody, I think I have some real reservations about that. To be used in a selected situation, sometimes it's the right way to go.